Yo, welcome. It is the preseason edition of the Fireside Chat, and we are right on the doorstep of another season. I am your host, the Southern Gooner. If you're up, thank you for joining me tonight. If you're coming in, if you're filing in, make sure you hit that like button, share, and subscribe. I have already dropped the StreamYard link, so if you want to come up and have your say tonight, I'm going to be here for a nice, smooth hour. I've got a long next couple of days, so not going to be up too long tonight, but we will be talking about the upcoming season and just where we are in our preparations as we prepare to kick things off this evening. AJ, what's up, brother? Glad to have you in the building, my man. Hope you're doing well, brother. Yep, so this season is here. The season is here. It is crazy how fast this summer has flown by. And now we prepare to go into battle once again. And the Arsenal look like, as of right now, as of today, as of tonight, looks like we're still lacking when it comes to the player department and the transfer department. Just a heads up, my internet's been acting a little crazy this week, so my video may freeze here and there. I've got to make a couple of phone calls here and find out what is going on. But if it is, just bear with me. It's been acting wild all week long. But yeah, man. So we are here. We are here. Big news yesterday. We saw Eddie Nketiah did not move to Marseille. Instead, he is still here. Edu turned down the money. Arsenal turned down the money that was offered for him. And a word on the street is that I think it's Bournemouth is interested in the player, but we already know how that goes when it comes to Arsenal. The valuation has been set, and they are not budging off of that unless you're the player that Arsenal wants to buy. Then that's when they expect things to work the way it's supposed to work. And then to this afternoon, we were informed that the Moreno deal is up in there as well. That's stalled out. So, you know, we're here again where we were For me, let me go back this way. Let me bring it this way. For me, I don't understand. I don't understand how it is that it takes us so long, Arsenal, that is, so long to do our transfer business. We expressed interest in the player. And we'll use Calafiore. Look how long it took that deal to get done. And look at the average time that it takes us to get a deal moving when it comes to a certain, players that we're really, really interested in. Of players that you would think that we will be able to bring those players on in. It's the average of 20 to 45 days, depending on the players and what league he's in. Now, what was crazy is that the Havertz deal took no time. It took no time. But then we look at Calafiore, that took forever. Declan Rice last season seemed like that took forever. But then when you get these Kivior deals, these Fabio deals, they no time. It's done. Runnison deals done. This young man that's 18, that's the goalkeeper, done. You look at these players and those deals get done. But then a genuine player who like I said, I don't know much about Marino, but I know that the deal is there's a player there that seems to be fairly decent. And we were in for this player. And now the deal is stalled. This is week 3, week 4. And the deal is stalled out. We look when it comes to these strikers. Gyökeres. Now, we heard about Gyökeres when, ladies and gentlemen? When did we hear about Gyökeres? We heard about Gyökeres at the end of last season. In May. Right before the season ended. And what are you hearing now? What are you hearing now? We have yet to put a bid in for this man. Do you see what I'm saying? How long it takes for us to get stuff going? It takes forever. It's like ordering Domino's pizza in 1992. It takes forever. It takes forever. We absolutely just drag ass when it comes to everything, when it comes to our transfers. Anybody that's American that's in this chat ever been to Sam's Wholesale and you waiting to get a rotisserie chicken? It takes forever. It takes forever. That's the same way we roll when it comes to the transfer business. It's the same exact way. Ivan Toney has been sitting out there. Shout out to my brothers in the chat. I see you. Ivan Toney has been sitting out there. I see you, AJ, ain't here today because I'm going right. I'm going right to it, y'all. He's been sitting out there. Absolutely been sitting out there for the absolute longest. Now, there's two modes of thought when it comes to this. And one of them is this. I think either one or two things are going on here. He's going to sit there. He's going to run his deal down, get the big payday next year. He's kind of betting on himself, as we say over here. He's betting on himself. The second is somebody's going to wait until transfer day, deadline day, and they're going to pop that bid in, and he's going to be making a move somewhere. It's not going to be Arsenal. I can tell you that just the way we're rolling. It's just not going to be. I don't know if we're going to get a striker. And I don't think we are. To be honest with you, I really don't think we are because it would really piss me off. It would piss me off if we got a striker at the last minute when we could have got a striker earlier in the summer to bed in, to join the fellas, to get used to playing with these guys. Do you see how we hamstring ourselves when it comes to players? Now, wouldn't it make better sense to have the player lined up for June, whoever that may be, in for preseason and ready to go come this weekend? Wouldn't that make the most sense? And we've got serious games this year. We don't have like this. There's no lollygag playing going on this year. We've got to get right down to business as soon as the season starts. I told y'all before, 12 points this year. If we drop 12 points or 4 games, you can just about hang it up. You can just about hang it up. And Steve, you're right. There's no way we can go into the season leaning on the back of one Kai Havertz. Let's just keep it a buck. Let's just keep it a buck. There's no way we can go into this season looking for him to lead us to the promised land 22, 23, 24, 25. It's just not going to happen. I'm not saying he won't contribute. I'm not saying he won't play a factor in some of these games this year. Of course, I expect him to get about anywhere from 8 to 12 goals. But as far as being able to lean on this man to get to the promised land, nah, it's just no way. It's absolutely no way. And history has shown this. We saw this last season. We've been going through this for the last few years. Shout out to everybody in the chat. As you come in, make sure you hit that like button. If you want to hop up, the StreamYard is up there. We're going to be here for an hour tonight. So come through. Let's chat it up. Ask you questions. If you got some questions in the chat, drop them. I'll get to them. Once again, thank you for spending your evening with me here on this special edition of the Fireside Chat. Shout out to my main man, my brother, Gary, DWTT. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Hey, come on up. Come on up, brother. We got room in the end. Come on up. Let's chat it out if you're up to it, brother. You know, we've got players that are still here that should have been moved on in May. I mean, it's chaotic when you look at it. It's really chaotic. And this, my friend, is why when we look at Edu Gaspar, because I'm going to be on Edu this year. I am not going to be doing Arteta out. I'm not going to be banging Arteta upside the head because we know he ain't going nowhere. We know what he's going to do. It's going to be sideways, backwards, backwards, sideways, backwards, sideways, sideways, backwards, sideways, backwards. So for all my frustrated Arsenal fans, there's no need of getting upset with Mikel Arteta because we know what it's about. We know how he rolls. We know what he does. It's going to be the same old, same old, same old, same old. Same old, same old. So we know how that works. So there's no need to get upset, but we can get upset with Edu because this is a man who has had year after year after year. His body of work is actually worse than Mikel Arteta's body of work. Mikel Arteta, I'll come out and say this. You won't only hear me say this, but I'll at least give him a little bit of credit. He has some credit in the bank because at least he's challenged for the title at some point. This Edu character, this gentleman here, look at the deals, look at the money we paid, look at the players, look at our transfer dealings. Look at the transfer dealings. Our transfer dealings look like they got hit by a hurricane. Just look at the dealings. 100,000 here, 200,000 there, 300,000 here, 400,000 there. Just money all over the place. Just money all over the place. Money all over the place. And you look at the players that we brought in with the money. With big money. Big money, ladies and gentlemen. Big money. I see your brother Gary. Yeah, we'll link up, man. We'll link up. We'll link up soon. And congratulations on the 100th show, by the way. I meant to tell you that. Congratulations on your 100th show. Look at the players that we brought in. Look at the players we've retained. One is somebody just stated, Eddie Nketiah. Eddie Nketiah, we're paying him top dollar. We're latching on to him. We're holding on. We're turning down money. And as I stated yesterday with Lee, Jez, and Kenny, this brother had offers for the last few years from different teams and that were willing to pay more than what Marseille offered. More than what Marseille offered. We're turning people away. We're turning away the money. We're turning it away for this player. So you have to ask yourself, what are we doing? Do you want to keep the man or do you want to sell him? Because there comes a point where you're going to need to take the money. Otherwise, we're going to be paying this brother to leave. Now, I've told y'all this before. Now, when Nketiah first burst on the scene, I was one of his biggest supporters. The video's out there. If you can go find it, it's out there. But after a few years, you can clearly see, nah, this ain't going to work out, man. This just ain't going to work, especially after the Leeds. The Leeds deal did it for me. I was like, nah, this ain't going to work. We can't cut it down there. And that's pretty much about it. We need to move on. Cut your losses, move on. You can sell him high. Nope. They said, nope, we're going to hold on. We're going to retain. We're going to push this. And now we are sitting right here. We're sitting right here in a conundrum. Now, the question, people keep saying he's going to Bournemouth. People keep saying he's going to Bournemouth. He's in talks and this, that, and the third. Do you think Bournemouth's going to show up? Is going to show up and pay 30? Pay over what Marseille turned down? And I want people to understand Marseille ain't no just run-of-the-mill club. This ain't no just Johnny-come-lately club. This ain't no 8th division, team. This is a powerhouse. Marseille is a powerhouse in football. They may not be what they once were, but they are well thought of in the footballing world. And they come in for a player like this, and they say no. And the money's been left out there on the table, so we turn it away for a player who hadn't scored away since 22 and hadn't scored for at home since 23. And we're going into 24 now. So what is this man Edu doing? Once again, we're in a conundrum where we've got players on absorbent wages. It is hard to move these players. And when we were sitting there a few years ago, ladies and gentlemen, by the way, I'm starring everybody's questions. I see them. I'm starring them. And I'm going to come back to your comments as well. Just bear with me. We look at what Edu and how he's ran the show for the last few years. You look at this madness. 65 million for Kai Havertz. I told y'all this before. West Ham came in. When we initially went to West Ham for Declan Rice, they said 75 million. 75. We buy the player for more than what they asked for in the summer. Instead of us paying the money up front, we had to move a player. Oh, we got to sell shop. Have y'all noticed that we have to move players to buy players? But yet they sat right there and told everybody who challenged it, why can't we go out and get quality players? Oh, well, we got to get the Champions League first. Then we can go get world-class players. Or we can get better players. Man, we've been in the Champions League for 2 years. Brother, where are the players? Where has the money gone? Brother asked in the chat, I think it was AJ. I believe it was AJ. Where's the Emmitt Smith-Rowe money? We just got paid for this. What is that? That balance in the books? We balancing the books again? I told y'all yesterday, we cooking the books. The books are getting cooked over here at Arsenal. Because there's no way we make some money off of these players and it doesn't go right back. How are we not moving? How are we not moving players, moving these? We're selling players and putting money towards new players. I'm telling you, the books are being cooked. Allegedly. Let me say that. Allegedly, the books are being cooked. And we have sat right here. We have sat right here, and we are literally on the doorstep of another season in which we are expected, whether people want to believe it or not, we are expected to go into this season, and we need to be challenging on all fronts. And we're effectively going right back into the season with the same team plus one new player. Let that sink in. One new player. That's what we're going into the season with. We're turning down deals for Ramsdale. We're not even trying to put a deal together for Ramsdale to get out of here. We're turning down loans. They could at least say, well, no, we won't take a loan, but we'll offer him for this. These players, I told y'all, when they are done with you, they chew you up and spit you out. They just like Hall and Oates say, they're man eaters. They chew you up and spit you out. Chew you up and spit you out. Either you need to move these players or you need to explain why you're keeping these players. Because Ramsdale should have been the first one to go this year. Because we know exactly what the deal was with him based off of last season. Based off of last season, he should have already had a deal lined up, ready to go. There was talk last year that Newcastle was involved there, that they were looking. Then they said, nah, we're not going to waste our time with Arsenal. We'll go ahead and get what we need. So they went and did what they needed to do. I'm telling y'all, one of my other reasons why I don't think we're moving these players is that they know that they're not going to be able to go out there in enough time adequately to go find a player to replace that player, even if the player ain't hitting on much of nothing. They are not savvy enough in world football to go out and, one, scout quality players, look around and find players that they can come in, that can get the job done, that can toe to the company line. Edu is a laughingstock when it comes to bringing in players. We have to overpay for players to come in. We overpay. Think about this. Just look at the money that we're just throwing around, and look at how much money we throw it around. Billions of dollars. Look at the money we spent. Look at the money this man is operated in. And he comes out with all of these talking tropes. Oh, we're gonna do this. Oh, we're gonna do it. We want to challenge. We want to do this. Oh, we want to do that. We want to do that. We want to buy this. Oh, I have to read 100 pages of this. I gotta look at 100 pages of that. I gotta go over this. We have we know what we want. We have a dossier. Da, 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 da. But then when it comes to getting stuff done, what does he do? What does he do? Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. This Edu is an absolute joke. Absolute joke. I respect his work as an invincible, but in the boardroom, he is absolutely trash. He's absolutely trash. Absolutely trash. Quality players are still sitting out there. I'm going to stay on this Ivan Toney train. He is sitting out there for peanuts, for Kool-Aid in a big, in a large fry. You could go get him. Nope, won't do it. And I'm telling you, if the man go to Manchester United and light it up, I'm going to be real pissed off. I'm going to be real pissed off. But the man came out today, Mr. Edu came out today. He said, well, y'all be happy. Y'all going to be happy to enter the transfer window. Why does it have to be the end of the transfer window? That's the question that should be asked. Why does it have to be at the end of the transfer window? Why can't you be satisfied, be happy at the beginning of the transfer window? Why can't you get the job done at the beginning of the transfer window? I just don't understand. I just don't understand why do we waste the time that we do? Why do we waste the time that we do? What's going on, brother Jason? Hope you're doing well, man. Doing good, brother. Doing good. Doing good. It's outrageous. It is outrageous. Mike, what's going on, brother? Hope you're doing well, man. Says he has a little faith in Edu, but I think we will be reactionary or get an opportunity very late. That's you know what? That's exactly what's going to happen. That's exactly what's going to happen. We're gonna wait. They're gonna try to play this thing out in the next couple of weeks. And if we drop a game or two, that's when they're gonna really start scrambling, trying to find players. They're gonna really start trying to scramble because the heat's gonna be turned up. The heat's gonna be turned up. And so they'll probably scramble and try to look around. And see, the thing that concerns me, ladies and gentlemen, is that they'll sign a player, but it's going to be somebody that, it's just a run-of-the-mill player. It won't be anybody that's they've probably been linked to, like Jokeris or either Tony or somebody. It's going to be somebody random. It's going to be the most randomest player. Random, if we do get somebody. If the Moreno deal collapses, do you think they actually have an adequate replacement for that? Do you think they actually have a replacement if that deal falls through? Nope. Ping Pong says, Maddie, question. What's your prediction for the season as a whole? Premier League table finish, FA Cup, League Cup, Champions League. I'm going to be honest with you. The league is probably the hardest thing for me to really give you something concrete on. And I'm going to be straight up with y'all this year. I think personally, every Arsenal fan should not even think about the league until we're about 25 to 30 games into the season. Until we'll be about 25 in. Then you can probably go, all right, I think this is what we're going to do. Because you just never know with this team. Based off of what we've seen the last 2 years, there's no need even trying to worry about what we're going to do in the league. Now, this FA Cup and this League Cup, we need to be in for both of those. And one of them needs to be won, if not both. We need domestic silverware in the cabinet this year. There has to be domestic silverware in the cabinet this year. There's no excuse. There's no excuse based off of the team. Now, if the team is good enough to challenge for second place, think about this now. If the team is good enough to challenge for second place 2 years running, why the hell can't we challenge for a cup? Why can't we challenge for a domestic cup? And if we're not challenging for domestic cups, if he's not feeling the most strongest team, if he's not putting out there the adequate players that we need to win these cups, then Arteta needs to be questioned this year. He needs to be questioned on his aspirations of what is the most important thing. People are going, well, we got to win the league now. Well, yeah, of course, that's without question. But in the process of that, there are trophies to be won domestically. And this is why I said we have to win something domestic this year. Now, this Champions League is absolutely out of the question for me. This Champions League, I'm not even thinking about that because we're not prepared for that. Think about it. We're looking for a striker. We're looking for a striker right now. If we don't get that striker, it's the same team that was in the Champions League last year with a defender, with a new defender. Now, does that sound like a recipe to win something? Yeah, I mean, we got that to the quarterfinals last year. But let's be straight up. We got very lucky last year. Very lucky. Teams are much stronger this year. Go look at the teams that's in there this year. A lot of tricky games. 4 games away. To get there is going to be much, much harder than it was last year. So I'm not really banking too much on that Champions League. I'll just enjoy watching the games. I'll just enjoy it. But I'm not banking too much on it. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it don't. But like I said, I want to go back to these domestic cups. These domestic cups are there to be won. They are there to be won. It is absolutely ridiculous that we have completely pissed those away the last few years. So what is this? I think his numbers I think we were 18 or 1 and something. I can't remember what the number is, but it's wild. It's wild. It is absolutely wild how we've thrown away these cups. I mean, throwing them away. And look at what we're going out at in some of these cups. We're not even getting out of the first couple of stages in some of these cups. So this year, I expect this man, Brother Arteta, to be challenging for these Cubs. Meanwhile, while we're challenging, Eddie better be doing his job. You know, me and Lee talked yesterday afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We talked. I'm gonna come down to some of these comments in just a second, y'all. Just bear with me. I talked to Lee yesterday, and we talked about a good hour yesterday after we got off the show. And something came up. I said, Lee, why can't we find, there was a time, and for all my old heads in the chat, y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. There was a time, especially in English football, you could go down to the championship, down to League One, down in League Two. In a certain case, you could almost, you look around hard enough, you could go down to non-league. You can go find adequate players to do the job. You can find players to do the job. Why is it that we have to go where all the smoke is to find players? So if the player is pushed up to high heavens, Jokeris, Osimhen, we got to go find, we got to go to where the player's pumped up instead of looking around for a player the same way that Wenger used to do it, where he would go find these players at teams. They'd just be running the mill players out of nowhere and bring them in. We got Santi. Anybody want it? Where did we get Santi Costello from? Where did we go get him from? What team did we get him from, y'all? Y'all tell me where we got him from. Go tell me some in the chat. Y'all tell me what team we got Santi Costello from when we signed him. I remember just like it was yesterday. Why is it that we have to go out here and get the most explosive players at balloon prices from some of these teams instead of looking right in your backyard? That goes back to Ivan Toney. He was sitting right there. There are quality players sitting out there. We sat back there in the back chat yesterday, and I'm going through videos of players that's down there at Crawley Town. I'm showing me and Lee going through looking at footage of players in Crawley Town. And I said, look, you telling me we can't find a player? Shout out to Boston. Malaga. Over at Malaga for $12 million. I think it was $12 million we got him for. Brother, there are players out there. See, this is the argument, ladies and gentlemen, that people like to say, well, where are these players at? Brother, there are players all over the place in world football. One of the things that has to be questioned this year, whether we sign somebody big or sign somebody or not, is we have to start questioning what is going on with this scouting system for Arsenal. Because I think that's something that has fallen by the wayside, especially after the pandemic. Because at one point, we were all talking about the scouting system. It was word that the scouting system had got disbanded or whatever, and they had, nobody even knows who's doing the scouting anymore. What are they doing? Just sitting around on Scout Nation, looking at tape. There are players out there that can be signed. Look at the brother that Lee used to talk about all the time, Dobbik. Look, he went for peanuts. Led the league in La Liga, 30 million euros to Roma. There are players out there. Boston says something fishy is going on. Marseille wanted a loan for Eddie, but as soon as the deal collapsed, they paid for Wahi in full, 25 plus 5. Brother, ain't no telling what's going on with these Arsenal transfers, man. Ain't no telling what's going on. Ain't no telling. But you also got to look at it this way, brother. Is why he better than Eddie Nketiah? That's the question you got to ask. Which player would you pay the one to get? Would you pay the extra for Eddie? Or would you pay the extra? If you know you can get something that's a little bit better, would you pay for that? So I guess that's the way you have to look at that. If Ivan ends up at City, wow. Yeah, they would need to have it, bro. I don't even want to think about it. If that happened, which it's funny you bring that up here because me and Lee was texting Saturday, and I texted him. I said, "Hey man, wouldn't it be something crazy if he ends up over at City with Holland? That would be absolute madness if that happened. I don't even want to think about it. Let's not even put that in existence. We're not even going to think about that. Well, I think I got you there, Jason. What's going on, brother? Hope you're doing well, man. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well, my friend. And I'm just going through some of these comments here. Dylan, what's going on, my friend? Says big up from NYC. Can't wait for the season to start. I'm a West Ham fan. I can't believe we had such a good window. Yeah, man. Y'all have had a really good window. I'm surprised Arsenal isn't signing more players with how close you are to the title. Yeah, I mean, when you think about it, Dylan, coming off the season that we had last season, you would have thought that as soon as the window opened, you've already got your targets lined in. You're making statement signings. You've already got them lined up because we didn't get anybody in January. And I have to keep reminding people that we didn't get anybody in January. So clearly they have had to have a list of players that they were, that was available that they were looking at or whatever, something going on. But instead, no, it looks like that basically, to me, it looks like the season ended and everybody took 3 or 4 weeks off. And then we're going to try to get to work. And then when we go put it in the bid, we'll just run up to people and see who we can get. That's what it looks like they did. That's what it looks like they did, 27 million for Nketiah is an unreasonably good offer for Arsenal pure profit as well. Yeah, man, you gotta take that money, man. You gotta take it. If the deal is there, you gotta take that. Triumph, yo, Matt, Arsenal never do what's required in the transfer window. Historically, no. But see, you would think because this money's being pumped in. You've got the situation is a lot different than when Wenger was here. Because that stadium loomed. You still had the stadium. We were dealing with that. Now, don't think I'm going to let him off the hook for sending all our players over to Man City to punish us. But it was a little bit different when he was here compared to now. Especially when it comes to commercially, how much money we bring in commercially per game, per year, per jersey, and all that stuff, and season tickets. And it's for those travel, just like everybody paying $6.99 to watch a game when the same game Leverkusen was showing for free. So the money, they've got money there. The money, like the Jez always says, I can't remember the website, but Jez always says they've got money. You can go look at what they got bringing in. So we know the money is there. And that's just why I'm on them so hard, because the money's there. You're not fooling me. People saying we skint. We ain't skint. We ain't skint. You see these jerseys? Let me tell y'all something. As a photographer, that commercial that just ran the other day, I can tell you right now, without a shadow of a doubt, that commercial they just did for Adidas, they had to pay all of them folks who come in that video. They had to shoot the video. They had to bring in a production crew. They had to set it up. They had to rent the facilities. They had to pay for the rights. They had to pay for the usage. Bro, they paid big time money for that commercial. So you're not fooling me saying, oh, we ain't got no money. We skint. Arsenal got money. They have got money. That is a world brand. They got money. They have spent money. The problem is they have spent money the wrong way. And now it is biting us it is nibbling. It is gnawing on our ass. It's gnawing on our ass. You're the Kibio deal, the Fabio deal, re-upping Reece Nielsen, the crazy money, re-upping Eddie, the crazy money, Zinchenko, Jesus. Look at these crazy deals we paid for $50 million for players that can't stay healthy, players that can't play a position, can't play football the proper way. Look at Timber. I'm starting to get concerned about Brother Timber. And I had high hopes for Timber. He can't stay healthy. Tomiyasu can't stay healthy. These are recurrent issues that we're running into, y'all. Recurrent issues. SG, what's going on, brother? Hope you're doing well, man. Hope you're doing well. These are recurrent issues over and over and over. And we have to start asking ourselves this question. Why Why do we keep going through the same thing every season? And nothing changes. Nothing changes but the kid. Nothing changes but the kid. And we keep going through the same old trope. Same old trope. Now, do I think we'll be competitive? I'm pretty sure we'll be competitive this year. I think we'll be in some games. I think we'll win a bunch of games, but I don't know if we're gonna have enough to get over the line. I don't know, because see, I keep telling y'all, it's hard 3 times in a row. It is hard. It is taxing. I've been that way as a coach. 2 times was hard. 3 is really hard. 3 in a row is really hard, because it takes so much out of you mentally. And a lot of these players are drained from the Euros. They got this Nations League starting up this year, which I don't understand. How the hell y'all keep having these international tournaments every other year? You're wearing these boys out. These boys don't get a break. So I'm glad I never really played professional on the high level of professional football. High level. Because you don't get any rest. Soccer had the most rest. I was joking with Lee. I said the time he had off from the Euros is the most rest he's had from football in 2 or 3 years. That's crazy. That's crazy. Some of these players are in their 20s, but their bodies are in their 30s. I mean, just look. Just look at how we run players into the ground in football. And this is why I said last year we need a squad. We need a squad. The best example I can tell you, Alvarez was the backup striker, but Alvarez was putting in goal. Alvarez could start. That's the type of players we need. Players that can start, that can go. There's talk today. There's another one I heard today. I heard this one. I heard Leroy Sané. Now, where's Leroy Sané going to play at if he comes to this team? Where is he playing at? He is not coming to Arsenal. He is not coming to Arsenal. Now, if they can't sell Eddie Nketiah, what make you think they can buy Leroy Sané? Let me say that one more time for my people in the back. Let me say that one more time. Just in case the stream had enough. If they can't sell Eddie Nketiah, what make you think they can buy Leroy Sané? Let that sink in. Let that sink in. They were the only player in the room for Calafiori and struggled to get that done. Yeah, it got done, but look how much work it took. I told y'all it took 3 to 4 weeks to get a player that they were the only person in the room to get. It's wild. It's wild. Yeah, see, this is what I brought up earlier, AJ. This needs to be questioned. Where are the scouts? Where are the scouts? Who are the scouts? You know what? Who are the scouts? That needs to be hashtag. Who are the scouts for Arsenal? So people need to be looking into this, because you see these other teams that getting. Look at the players they're getting. Endrick, brother. What's that brother that's in here from? Is the brother from the West Ham fan still in here? Please tell me the West Ham brother's still in here. If he's in here, put yourself in the chat, man. Just let me know you're still in the chat. If you're still in here. They got a player from Palmeiras who I was telling Lee about last year. I said, brother, this guy's 17, 18, and he's ripping it up. They go sign him. Luis, I can't think of his name now. But he'll know. If the West Ham brother's in here, he'll know who I'm talking about. They sign him. The player is there. Brother, players are out there. Fulcrum, the Fulcrum guy, he got signed. And what have we done tour America, release 3 new kits rather, and like today, we shooting TV commercials. That's all I saw today over social media. It's TV commercials. Such and such is in the media room. Such and such is over here. Such and such over here talking. Just talking. We're getting prepared for this weekend. It's going to be rough this season. Like I said, we're going to win a lot of games, but we're going to lose a few in the process. I don't think that Edu has left us in the best form of quality going into this season. I think he has left us shorthanded. I think Edu has left us shorthanded going into this season. What happens, ladies and gentlemen, if Odegaard goes down this season? What happens if Odegaard goes down this season? You can kiss it goodbye. If Saka goes down this season, you can kiss it goodbye. If any of the defenders go down, you can kiss this season goodbye. We know Jesus is going down, so we already know we don't even have to count on that. We know that's going to happen at some point. We know he's going to the flow. Martinelli's probably going to the flow. You know, this is standard protocol. Will Havertz be unleashed this season? We doubt that. Like I said, 8 to 12 goals. I can book it on that, 8 to 12 goals. You just don't know what it. This is the thing with Havertz, ladies and gentlemen. You don't know how important the goals will be. We don't. He's not the player, and this is the best way I can sum up Havertz, ladies and gentlemen. The best way I could show up Havertz is that Havertz. You don't know if he can be that player can get you right. If you need. If you down 2-1, can he get you 2 goals to get you to win? That's the striker that you need. Can he score when we're up 4-1? Yeah, he'll score it in. But will he score when it's actually we need it? It is clutch. We gotta have it. Y'all saw what happened Sunday. That's the difference. In him and a player like Ivan Toney, we know Ivan Toney is going to show up. To some degree, you know Jokic will score. To some degree. But are you willing as a patron, as an Arsenal fan, to put your house and your mortgage on him winning 15 to 20 games for us on taking it and putting it on his back, putting it on the wood? Are you willing to do that? No, you're not going to do that. No, you're not going to do that. We have to be successful this season. We've got to be successful this season. We got to find a way to be successful. Because if we're not successful this season, y'all, a lot of these players are going to start looking elsewhere. The likes of Saliba, the likes of Gabriel, the likes of Saka. I told y'all last season, Trossard, if Arteta starts this whole pulling him in and out, because if y'all notice now, he's been starting most of the preseason. So it's gonna be very interesting on Saturday to see how he starts, because he's been playing off and on. And is he gonna go back to his old ways, Arteta? And I'm gonna go with, and I'm gonna bring him off the bench, or is he gonna start him? He's played in most of the preseason, so it's gonna be very interesting. What is Ethan Nwari gonna do? What are we gonna do with him? Because see, I'm of the camp. I think this young man's pretty good, but I'm at the camp. I'm in the camp of, if you're not going to be playing him a lot, and you know this, send him to a team that he can get the experience he needs so that when he comes back, he'll be ready to go. He'll be acclimated. Send him to another Premier League team and put him to work. If not, there's no need of him sitting there. And then we're in a situation later on this year where we're down 4-2, and then you're bringing him on hoping he can save you. Hoping he can save you, because that's what he does from time to time. Y'all remember soccer and all them, how they bailed him out, Emmitt Smith Rowe, how he bailed him out. He bailed him out on the technical. It was scrambling at the last second to try to get something, and Emmitt Smith Rowe got it for him. He didn't repay him worth a damn, but he got him out. He got him out of the fire. But that's what Arteta will do. He'll bring these players in at the worst time, and if they can't cut it, then he'll just pull the trigger on. And I don't want that to be Ethan. This is why, if you're not going to use him and use him the proper way, send him on loan. Let him go get some experience, some quality experience, and send him to a team that he can actually be beneficial to. Not just sending him to a team like how they did Eddie. They sent Eddie down to Leeds, and Leeds he wasn't no good for Leeds in a hill of beans. And then he had to end up coming back because he's down there and can't get the job done down there because he's at a team where he doesn't fit. Where he can't be the linchpin. Where they can't build some players around him. And he comes back here and he scores a handful of goals, but it's not enough because he hadn't been tested and tried properly. And I just don't want players like Ethan to get washed out. You look up, he's been here for 5 years and ain't done nothing because he hadn't been adequately taken care of, So if we're going to keep this young man, he needs to be playing. So we'll see how that goes. Our captain this year. Let's go off to our captain this year. I expect the captain to lead the brigade this year. This is his year to stamp his authority on this team. This is his year to stamp the authority on this team. That I'm the captain. I'm leading by example. We're going to war. I expect him to be in. I don't want him missing in these games. Y'all remember last year. He show up in certain games and he go missing. Then he show up in certain games and he go missing. I want consistency for him this year. The same way he was out there rolling against Bayern Munich is the way he needs to be rolling for the rest of this season. He needs to be the same tempo all year long. All year. Jesus, brother, you're going to have to break that 14-goal tally that you're going to have to find a way to get 18 goals. He's going to have to find a way to get some goals this season. It's going to take, for us to be competitive this season, it's going to take a group effort. It's going to take a group effort this year. And they're going to have to pull it out of the fire. A lot of times this year, they're going to have to pull it out of the fire. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Let's just keep it real. Let's just keep it real. Let's just keep it real. What's going on now, brother? What's going on, brother? Hey, the link is out there if you want to hop on apps. If you want to hop on, the link is out there. If we're going to pull it out of the fire, players are going to have to come together. They're going to have to go against the manager sometimes. They're going to have to go, no, we're not doing it his way. Somebody's going to have to do it and say, no, we're not going to do it this way. Y'all saw, if y'all that watched the Olympics, y'all saw it with the U.S. men's team this year in the game against Serbia. They said, the hell with what he's talking about. We're going to do it this way. And if we can pull it off, we're going to pull it out. We're going to pull out the fire ourselves. We're going to have to do that this year. There's going to be some games this year where Arteta's playing of backwards, sideways, sideways, backwards, sideways. It's not going to work. We're going to have to go route one, over the top. We're going to have to find a way to make it happen. This is the year. See, most of these players have been here for enough time now to where they're used to playing with each other, and they're going to have to go, nah, nope, not doing it his way. We're going to do it our way. So this year, I expect us to be competitive. And as I stated earlier, I don't know exactly where we'll finish at in the table. I expect us to be in the top half. I expect us to be competitive. Will I say we're gonna win the title? I don't. It's kind of tough for me to say that. But do you think will we be competitive in these cups? Absolutely. We got to win a domestic cup this year. A domestic cup has to be won this year. Now y'all want to see me pull what hair I don't have out of my head out. Let's get put out of these cup competition this year. Get put out the cup competition this year, and you're gonna see me really lose it this year. I'm gonna really lose it because we've spent too much money on these players. Too much money is currently being spent as I'm talking right now. Kai Havertz is getting paid top dollar right now as I'm talking, and there's no excuse for us not to be competitive in those cups. There's absolutely no excuse to not be competitive in these cups. No excuse. No excuse. Spot on, Matt. Iwari, Lewis Shelley are both real talents. Edu should be getting them top loans moves for the year. I'm telling you, man, if Wenger was here, these players would be moved on to some decent teams. And it doesn't have to be in the Premier League. Send them to Germany. Send them to Dortmund. Send them to Ajax. Send them to some of these schools, the institutions, Feyenoord. Send them to these institutions where the basics are being learned. Brother, I would love to see one of our players go to Dortmund and go over there. Because y'all see what they do. Atalanta. Some of these teams. And get some experience, some quality experience. I don't want all players getting thrown into the fire. These youngsters getting thrown into the fire only to be rejected because they couldn't get the job done right then and there. Because that's what we do all the time. We do that all the time. We do it all the time. That's why you're supposed to have quality players on your bench. So that the quality players, I'm talking, these Trossards, the quality player. I'm talking quality players should be on the bench to where when they're called, they're the ones that should be able to come out and get that done. Not these youngsters, man. Right out the gate. Statistically, it's even hard. It's rare for us to see players come out of the academy and go and just take off. Man, it is rare to see that. So right now we've got what we're looking at with Nwari is we're looking at a player, him and Shelley, we're looking at players that look like they've got the makings. They're not there, but it looks like they got the makings. So what we got to figure out is let's see what we can get out of them. Let's see what we can get out of them. I'm getting ready to round it off because I said I was going to be on for an hour, so I'm getting ready to round it off. But I do want to say this. I'm going to be supporting the team. I want the best for the team this year. I would love it. I would absolutely love if we won a title this year to end this drought, to end this title drought. But like I said, it's going to be very tough. It's going to be very, very tough this year. And I'm going to hold down to what I just said, that the cup competitions are there. And if the boys can just see a piece of silverware, if they can see it and touch it, if they can just get their hands on a domestic cup and a trophy this year, that may give them the onus to push forward to say, let's go get the title. Because sometimes you have to do that. You have to have players see the silverware in order to push. I don't want to see these brothers with their heads down because we even put out another tournament. I don't want to see them hang their heads again this year. As a player, I've been there. As a coach, I've been there. I've seen it. I just don't want to see them guys go through that again. That's mentally taxing to have to go through that two years in a row. Second place finishes. You put out everything, nothing to show for it. Nothing to show for it. Yeah, a lot of these guys coming out and they're saying that, oh, well, we done well. A lot of them guys are hiding that pain from last season, in the last 2 seasons. A lot of them guys are hiding that pain. And this year, I hope that they take that pain, challenge, and go challenge, man. And challenge. And take every game. The easiest thing Arteta has to do is tell everybody every game is a cup final for the rest of the year. Every game we play is a cup final. Whether we're in the cup final or not, every game is the cup final. And have that same intensity. And don't be afraid to play with intensity this year. Do not be afraid to play with intensity. Go at these teams, man. Y'all remember the 93% year? Y'all remember 93% year, how intense we came out that year? That's the same way we need to come back out. That is the way we should be playing, how we came out that year. Everybody was saying, oh, man, we tired. You know, and then last year was, oh, well, we saving it to the end of the year. No, we need to come out of the year, come out in fifth gear as soon as the season starts. I want to see us blowing teams away. The same way we came back in January, the last season is the same way we need to start this season. 10 here, 15 now, 8. I'm on us blowing teams. I want to see record numbers. We had 96 goals last year. I want to see 120. We should be blowing teams away. That's the mentality we should have. If we want to challenge for a title this year, we need to be blowing teams away. Blowing teams away. And stop goofing off. All this talking and stuff people have been doing. Interviews, unnecessary interviews. No, brother, just play the game. We need to just play the game. Wolves this weekend. We should be blowing Wolves away, as far as I'm concerned. It's their first game. It ain't like they clicked in the rhythm. We should be blowing teams away. I'm telling y'all, we blow these teams away. And if y'all need bulletin board material, they should be watching the game from Aston Villa last season. They should watch that from now till they play them. Every night they should be watching that game. Every morning when they come to work, we watch the Aston Villa. It's bulletin board material. And they're going there at the beginning of the season. So they need to be going there with the intent to shut it down. You know, we got a lot of work to do this, y'all. We got a lot of work to do this year, y'all. And it is going to be game by game. This is why I told y'all at the beginning of the broadcast. Don't entertain these conversations about winning the title right away. We got a long way to go before we even start talking about that. But in the process of all that, cups are there to be won. And we also need to finish strong in this transfer window, Mr. Edu. If you're watching this, anybody from Arsenal watching this, we need to be signing a striker. A striker needs to be on this team in the next 7 days. Don't be trying to leave it late, waiting to the 11th hour, playing with fire. We need our players in, ready to go. Ready to go. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank y'all for spending time with me tonight. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. I think I saw AJ said we are at 30 likes. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate that, man. Like, share, and subscribe. Let me see. Is anybody on tonight that we like? Ladies and gentlemen, anybody on tonight? Anybody streaming in that midnight riders, as I like to say, midnight riders out there? Is there anybody outside there? Y'all let me know if there's anybody streaming right now that I can send y'all over to. If not, it is what it is. I'm looking. Let me see here. I'm looking. Let me see. I don't know if it is or not. I can't quite tell. I don't think it is. I don't think it is, man. I tell you what, we're going to just leave it right there where it's at, man. Like, share, subscribe. Southern Gooner. Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much. I is out. Peace.
Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the Southern Gooner here on YouTube.